2022 regular season. JC Marcelino and the Zamboanga family's brand Sardines will look to secure that #1 seed in the South Division with a victory today. They're going to go up against a potential first-round matchup, Bren and the Imus Bandera. Zamboanga versus Imus at 5 p.m. Marikina versus Rizal at 7 p.m. And then the Pampanga Giant Lanterns will look to bounce back on their home court against Valenzuela. Thank you so much for joining us. Nix Gomez at your service alongside Garen Elorde. Garen, malapit na tayo sa ating playoffs. Anong pakiramdam na ganito na tayo kalapit sa ating prestigious elimination o sa dulo ng eliminations natin?
Well, first of all, it's exciting to be here in Pampanga. It's my first time to cover in this arena. And sabi mo nga, Migs, malapit na nga ang playoffs. It's on October 15. And syempre, all-time high na yung feeling ko for the upcoming playoffs.
And speaking of all-time high din ang ating courtside reporter for today na si Sydney Crespo. Sydney, good afternoon to you.
Hey guys, good afternoon. I'm super excited for this ball game dahil kahit malapit na tayo sa playoffs, both teams still want to prove something today. So, abangan natin yan.
There are actually a lot of playoff implications in the first matchup for today, so we have to discuss the South Division team standings first. All right, Garen, sinong top 8?
Well, here nga sa South Division, we have Zamboanga on top. Sunod na ang Batangas, Sarangani, and Gensan to fill in the top 4 spots. At sumunod naman ang Bacolod, Rizal, Bacoor, at Imus.
Okay, so those 4 teams at the top, they will have home court advantage. Zamboanga, if they lose today and Batanga wins on Thursday, then Zamboanga will drop as the #2 seed. And as for Imus, non-very po ang laro nila today. On Thursday, it will be do or die versus the Muntinlup Cagers. There you see our playoffs bracket. As for today, yun na lang po ang pwede magbago dahil fixed na ang ating seeds 3 till 7 in the South Division and then all 8 teams in the North Division. Alright, so let's proceed to our discussion with the previous matchup of the Zamboanga family's brand Sardines. They won over the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, and in this game, Garen, tabla nung first quarter natin pero lumayo sila ng second quarter.
Well, ito nga ang Zamboanga, now they have a 9-game winning streak. Last nga na panalo nila kalaban ng Pampanga Giant Lanterns. And here in the statistics, we see that they have a better field goal percentage at saka yung points in the paint. It's obvious that grabe sila mag-atake and they were taking advantage of that.
And speaking of grabe umatake, grabe pa rin talaga umatake ang ating All-Star Game MVP na si JC Marcelino, who once again took over for their squad.
Well, JC Marcelino proving that he is an All-Star MVP. At dito nga sa numbers, pinapakita na he went above his season average, scoring 24 big points. And sumama pa ang rebounds and assists para kay JC Marcelino.
He really is making his case not only for All-Star Game MVP but for season MVP as well.
Oo, pwede.
Itong si JC Marcelino. Now let's talk about the Imus Bandera. In their previous outing, it was the battle of our Caviteño teams against the Bacoor City Strikers. Natalo po ang Imus by 5.
Well, in this game, Imus had a bad start against Bacoor with the first quarter starting out 4-19. At dito nga, we can see the discrepancy sa 3-point percentage. 15% lamang para sa Imus City Banderas laban sa 31 ng Bacoor City Strikers. And points in the paint, medyo lumamang naman ng Imus. Pero yun nga, it was hindi nila ma-close out ang game para dito sa laban nila against Bacoor.
They actually had a chance with the late game heroics of J. Mark Malyari, who had tonsillitis in their previous outing. But one key player as well was their playing team manager na si Rene Pacquiao.
Well, Rene Pacquiao literally playing big para dito sa Imus Bandera, where he scored 21 big points, samahan mo pa ng 12 big rebounds. So nag-double-double siya sa game na yun laban ng Bacoor.
Doubling his season averages of 9.2 points and 5.8 rebounds. Pacquiao and Imus will look to defeat Zamboanga in a potential first-round matchup here in Pampanga. Now let's turn you over to Miguel Pere for our starting lineups.
Pagkat panapon mga kabalen, and we are back here at the Bren Guiao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga. Welcome to the first game of our Tuesday triple header. Zamboanga versus Imus City on the OKBet Manny Pacquiao's MPBL 4th season, presented by Xtreme. It's time to meet the starters for both teams, beginning with the Zamboanga family's brand Sardines. At forward number 99, John Mahari. Also at forward number 1, Tosi Tansinko. Starting at center number 8, Jamo Egilos. At guard number 19, JV Marcelino. Also at guard is your 2022 MPBL All-Star Game MVP, number 11, JC Marcelino. The head coach for Zamboanga Family's brand Sardines is Vic Hicasiano. Assistant coaches are Hubert De Los Santos, Leo Pujante, Kevin De Castro, Jake Agleron, and Kat Tenorio. And now the starters for the Imus City Xtreme. Starting at forward number 9, AJ Coronel. Also at forward number 27, Christian Garcia. Starting at guard number 12, Monbert Arong. Also at guard number 28, Rev Diputado. And at center number 67 is Imus City's playing team manager, Rene Pacquiao. The head coach for Imus City Xtreme is Ren Cabrera. Assistant coaches are Bong Begontes and Cesar Bolhin. Referees for this ballgame are Molly De Luna, Renan Alejo, and Eddie Villarosa. Alternate referee is Reynaldo Gabriel. This game is under the supervision.
Your starters for Zamboanga versus Imus. Rev Diputado, Monbert Arong, Rene Pacquiao, Christian Garcia, and AJ Coronel para sa Imus Bandera. And then we have the Marcelino twins, beginning it with Jamo Egilos, Ravdan Cinco, and John Mahari for the Zamboanga Family's brand Sardines. This has been a trend, Garen, past couple of games for Zamboanga. We all know that they are the best bench scoring team in the MPBL, pero nagsisimula na ang Marcelino twins for them.
Well, dito nga, like what we said, palapit na nga ang playoffs, and you'd want to take all the momentum that you can get bago pa magsimula ang playoffs. So, eto na nga, baka makita natin yung strategy kung gaano kalakas ang mangyayari para dito sa Zamboanga.
JV Marcelino aggressive at the start of this game, firing the first attempt. They did win against Pampanga in their previous outing. This was their starting lineup as well. This is actually a potential first-round matchup in the playoffs, which will happen on Monday, by the way. Lilipat tayong Zamboanga. Before that, the playoffs will begin on Saturday, October 15 in Palayan City, Nueva Ecija.
So this right here is a playoff preview mix. Pwede na potential.
Pwede. There's a chance that Zamboanga might go down to the number 2 seed if they lose today and if Batangas wins on Thursday. And as for AJ Coronel, who scores this basket, and the Imus Bandera, this is actually a non-bearing game for them, Garen. But on Thursday, it'll be do or die. What a feature that's going to be. A battle between Imus and Muntinlup to determine the number 8 seed.
Well, in this game, kahit na sinasabing ang no bearing, like what we said, in any team, you'd want to have that momentum coming into that important game come Thursday.
Ravdan Cinco, speaking of momentum, that guy had a great game in the previous outing, 15 points, couple of shots from outside. How big is he going to be, especially as a stretch four for Zamboanga?
Well, like what you said, he's a stretch four, and it's always good to have a big man in your team that can create for you inside and outside. Yun nga yung nabibigay ni Ralph Tancinco para sa Zamboanga.
The other end, it's the other stretch four, Christian Garcia, answering back for Imus. 4-3 is the early score. JV, too strong on the one-hander. The other end we go. Rev Diputado against JC Marcelino. Diputado stepping on the brakes. They go to Monbert Arong. This is a good matchup against John Mahari, one of the more capable defenders of Zamboanga. 8 on the shot clock. Garcia, you know he's gonna fire. And there's the testament to him being a stretch four.
Just right on cue, Mix. Kakasabi mo lang. And on the spot, right there, center ng three-point line. Libreng-libre. And you saw that follow through. It was gonna go in.
Christian Garcia in the previous seasons of the MPBL used to be one of the go-to shooters of the Bacoor City Strikers. Ito naman, go-to player ng Zamboanga, JV Marcelino.
Well, he's starting out pretty strong. Na-expect ng lahat si JC, but here we see that strong drive by his twin brother, JV Marcelino. 13
points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists for JV Marcelino in their previous outing. Ikaw ba na-imagine mo kung ano yung nararamdaman ni JV dahil usapin ng buong liga itong kambal niya all season long?
Well, it can go either way, pero mukha naman para kay JV na pupush siya to actually explode even more and perform better sa bawat games.
I actually asked JV before this game, JV, sino mas magaling sa inyo ni JC? Sabi niya, syempre ako. Kumpiyansa lang.
Siyempre.
And then,
Siyempre.
I went over to JC. Sino mas magaling sa inyo? Sagot niya, si JV.
Wow!
Grabe naman yung
Grabe
humility.
naman yan, oo.
Either way, they love playing with each other. Their teammates will really attest to that. Even in their practices, gusto nila magkasama sila lagi. 5-7, the early score. Monbert Arong. No good. Rebound Tancinco.
Well, that was a tough fadeaway shot. Nandun pa si JV all over that to play defense against him.
The other end, Mahari. Tancinco onto Egilos, who's already a champion here in the MPBL with Batangas. JV misses. JMO gets another board. Under 7 minutes here in the opening frame. 9 on the shot clock. JC onto JMO. Egilos will be called for a travel.
Sayang, that feed was good, yung pasa ni JC. And he was able to create that for his big man, pero nahuli for a travel.
JMO Egilos, you mentioned, a champion here alongside Adi Santos and Jason Grimaldo. Mula sila sa Batangas in the inaugural season. Let's turn you over to Cindy Crespo.
Reminders were simple in the Imus dugout. They need some sense of urgency today. After all the ups and downs of this team, from injuries to head coach changes, they are grateful for the opportunity to still be able to fight for a spot in the playoffs. Coach Ren Cabrera says they should not focus on Muntinlupa situation, but instead create the momentum here and bring it to their next game. And in order to do that, the Imus Bandera needs to do two things: dictate the energy in this game and be smart, especially now without Leon Horda and J. Mark Magliari, who are both nursing a back spasm. Back to you guys.
First of all, we would like to extend our thoughts and prayers to Leon Horda and J. Mark Magliari. Ito si Magliari galing tonsillitis ngayon. Back spasms naman. And si Leon Horda, he hasn't played since his appearance in the All-Star Day. And second of all, we should remember that what Sydney reported about as Diputado makes a three-point shot. Remember, there was a mid-season overhaul with this Imus Bandera squad. And we can't just imagine how hard it is, Karen, for you to be in the middle of the season, pressure-packed, ang bilis ng schedule natin, and to be able to turn things around and build the playoff team. How tough is that?
Well, alam naman natin, before a league starts, teams would actually go have team buildings, build that chemistry, but to have that overhaul during mid-season, yun nga, challenge talaga yun, Migs, but they're able to do that very well and patuloy ang kanilang improvement as a team.
Now they're up by 5 points against the top team in the South Division currently. Pasok dito sina Alin Roncal and Japs Bautista. Zamboanga will have 3 on their shot clock. Baseline inbound for JV Marcelino. Lumalabas, Japs Bautista. That's short. Roncal, oh there. There's a steal by JC Marcelino, one of the best in the league in that category. Just couldn't convert. The other end we go. No more chase para kay AJ Coronel.
Well, JC Marcelino proving why he's also a defensive player. And nakikita ko in the start of this ball game, JV, yung twin brother niya, mas nagiging aggressive offensively. So I guess they're trying to test out different things in this ball game.
JC Marcelino, we talked about his stealing ability. He's number 3 in the league at 2.2 per ball game, just behind Byron Villarias and Kit Jimenez, who obviously increased this season average after that quadruple double last night. Later on, we're going to break that down even more for you guys. Miss from Zamboanga. Is this a rough start for them or just a better start for Imus?
Well, I think it's a better start for Imus, like what Sydney was reporting a while ago. Coach wanted them to set the pace, and that's what they're doing right now against Zamboanga.
How about JC Marcelino? His second steal, but a counter steal by Chris Garcia. Christian with a sidestep, and he puts it in for 2.
That was a strong drive. Pero kita rin natin yung effort nga ni JC Marcelino. Kahit na medyo nagsastruggle sila offensively, you can always do something on the defensive side. And that's what he's trying to set here para nga sa kanyang teammates.
12-7 or 12-5 is the score. Christian Garcia has actually outscored Zamboanga in this game so far. He has 7. 4 minutes and 15. Diputado off to the right. And here's JV. They go to Japs Bautista. Pass inside. Beautiful feed to Gilos.
And slowly but surely, Zamboanga trying to convert here on the offensive side. That was a good find sa kanyang big man. libreng-libre under the basket.
Lead cut down to 5 here. Lumalabas si Diputado. Finds himself open, but that's because of the charge of Rene Pacquiao.
Well, I think JV was able to sell that call pretty well. Nasamahan pa ng sigaw, Migs.
Take a look at it. Remember, in those types of plays, you have to be careful because madalas na rin tumawag ng flop ang mga referees natin as you get to see that pass again from Jabs Bautista. Although madalas nga rin naman talaga mangyari yung mga illegal picks na yan.
So it's all about selling the call also. For sure may contact, but it's all about selling it para makita nga ng referee.
JV. Spin, the pass intercepted. One guy ahead. It's Monbert Arong. Almost walked there, but he lays it in for 2.
Well, kita naman natin yung fast break na yun. He was really running that floor. Hindi niya na tinignan yung bola. After the steal, after this turnover, you see him really running that floor for that open layup. But yeah, he kind of got away with that walk.
Happy Palanya would actually give comparisons to a Mark Nonoy para kay Monbert Arong. Maybe not as fast as Mark anymore, but great to see Monbert back here in the MPBL after a long time injury. 14-7 the early score. All right, Garrett, let's talk about the numbers for these two teams.
Well, in the team matchup, we can see that Zamboanga can really outscore Imus City Banderas. But on the defensive end, also, Zamboanga can do better, limiting their opponents to 73.5 points as compared to the 75 ng Imus City Banderas. But other than that, bench points, yun nga, sabi natin earlier, mas malalim ang bench scoring itong white shirts laban ng Imus Bandera.
It's actually notable, no, that Zamboanga did lose one key player past couple of days, and it is Reden Zelda who recently signed in the PBA. We're happy for him, obviously, but he will be missed here by this Zamboanga squad. Not so much so when they're seeing layups coming in mula kay Jabs Bautista.
That's right. Well, like what you said, sorry, ano nga yun, parang you feel bad, but at the same time, you're happy for that player kasi nga he's called up in the PBA. But then pag nawala siya, there's always another player that will step up. At ayun nga yung nagagawa ni Bautista para sa kanila.
Adi Santos would even tell us that it's Jabs Bautista, Irvin Palencia, even Jeff Comia who are expected to fill in those shoes of Reden Zelda as Chris Tumapig spins and scores inside.
And here we have Zamboanga pushing that ball like what they're used to, and paunti-unti right now, it's just a 3-point lead.
There's that signature Zamboanga defense. Marcelino with the tap. He goes to Dumapig, who was almost just blocked by Jacob Galicia, but Galicia is called for a foul. Take a look at that forward pass by JV Marcelino. They go to their big man, Chris Dumapig. Napakalalim din talaga ng rotation nitong Zamboanga in terms of their centers as they have Jason Grimaldo and Jaymoy Gilos rotating with Chris Tumapig who absorbed the contact on that play. And speaking of big men, pasok din dito si Chito Jaime for Zamboanga as this free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Again, reminder lang po, on Monday, we fly back to Zamboanga for the second home game of the season of the Zamboanga family's brand Sardines. First time that we were there, they defeated the Gensan Warriors, snapping their 8-game winning streak ng Gensan. But on Monday, we begin the playoffs, at least the South Division playoff picture in Zamboanga, if they do secure that #1 seed.
And how good is that to play for your home crowd sa Zamboanga? Kita ko yung video while I was watching the game. Grabe yung support ng mga taga Zamboanga.
That's the thing, Garen. Minsan lang yung aksyon sa Visayas and Mindanao. That's why when we do have the opportunity to fly there, it's always jam-packed. And by the way, we should mention that at this point, the 4 home teams who will experience that home court advantage in the South Division are Zamboanga, Batangas, Sarangani, and Jensen. 3 of those come from Mindanao.
Wow.
There are going to be a lot of flights, but of course, something that we're looking forward to.
At yun yung kagandahan dito sa MPBL talaga. The game goes to you guys. So
Right.
it's always a pleasure to see the home crowd.
And obviously, a lot of people are expecting Zamboanga to move up in the playoffs as well, no? It's going to be even wilder for their crowd. Right now, they have to secure this win first. They're down by 2. Garix Puerto. No good. Ball tapped away. One more chance for Imus. Monbert Arong hanging in the air and picking up the foul.
Grabe, tagal nung hang time ni Monbert Arong doon, eh. Luckily, he was able to catch that foul para mapunta nga siya sa free throw line ngayon.
That's actually a move that you would usually see from JC
That's right.
Marcelino.
Oh.
Pareho pa silang kaliwete. First free throw is good for Monbert Arong. Used to play for Caloocan. Go-to player in 2018. Ganun siya katagal na nawala dito sa liga.
You know the stereotypes for left-handed players, diba? Migs yung shooter, diba? Pero itong si Monbert Arong at saka si JC Marcelino, they drive really hard, no?
Right.
Mga slasher. So not your typical left-handed player, pero they're very good players.
But don't get us wrong, they can also shoot it.
That's right.
From
Oo.
outside. Bautista, there's the shooter for Zamboanga. It's short, but a rebound by Arong. If you think about it, this is actually a great matchup between him and JC.
Yeah, him and JC both they fly high for rebounds. Kita natin kanina si JC early in this game. Tumatalon talaga to get those rebounds.
Forward pass almost intercepted. It bounces off to Japs Bautista.
Well, that was a lucky break. That was almost a turnover. Buti na lang nasalo pa ni Japs Bautista para sa easy 2 points.
16-14. Another foul here against JV. That's a second foul. The Twins haven't rested in this game so far. And as I say that, upo na sila.
On cue na naman, Migs.
Pasok na sina Jeff Comia and Chino Mosqueda. Testament to the depth of Zamboanga. It's interesting, we're not seeing Irvin Palencia today in their lineup. Maybe Sydney has a report about that later on. 16-14. 12-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Arong. Dribble, pass inside, Mangalino. Almost stolen away. It is completed by Zamboanga. Forward pass, Mosqueda, Bautista. Sorry, missed. Tumapig is there, and that's what he's known for. Those offensive rebounding. 4 seconds to go here. Let's see if Imus will still convert. Puerto did not know about it at all. So that will conclude our first frame. We saw Imus establish a lead at the start of it, but Zamboanga tying things up by the end of 1.
Well, yeah, we said earlier that Imus was having a good start laban nga dito sa Zamboanga. But then slowly, Imus was doing what Zamboanga was doing best. Yung defensive stops nga nila. They were creating a lot of stops against the guards of Zamboanga. And slowly, they were putting up a big lead against Zamboanga. Pero at the end of this quarter, slowly Zamboanga was turning things around and sila naman yung tumatakbo at nakaka-convert sa offensive side.
We saw 6 total steals in this quarter. 3 from Imus and 3 from Zamboanga. Fast break scoring natin, 6-5 in favor of the Imus Bandera. 16 all, our score after 1. Folks, on Thursday, this is going to be a good showdown. The Muntinlup Cagers versus the Imus Bandera. 2 teams who are currently number 8 and number 9 in the South Division respectively. Whatever happens today for Imus, kung sino po ang manalo on Thursday, sila ang makakalaban ng number 1 seed in the South Division, which might be Zamboanga, it might be Batangas. That's why Batangas will look to win on Thursday and they will pray for a loss for Zamboanga in this game. But Families Brand Sardines shooting 7 out of 18 in the first frame, 6 out of 13 naman for Imus. Both teams just below 50%. Alin Roncal missing from 3. Rebound Galicia. And there's another foul here. Arong will proceed to the line.
Well, in that first quarter, both teams actually shooting pretty well. Kasi nga naman, they were both making stops and both teams were running the floor to get those easy baskets.
Ikaw ba, Garen, anong porsyento sa'yo yung acceptable? Yung okay na yung shooting percentage na yan?
Ako, syempre, 50% above, obviously. Pero yung mga right below 50%, that's good enough.
Okay na rin.
Oo.
What is right below 50%? Above 45?
Yun.
Above 45.
Above 45.
17 to 16. 6 points so far for Monbert Arong. Chino Mosqueda working with Chris Dumapig, Japs Bautista, Chito Jaime, and Jeff Comia. Chito fakes the pass, fires and misses. The other end we go. A lot of running in this game. It's tapped away in favor of Imus.
Well, Imus has been doing that since the start of this ball game. And paunti-unti, nakaka-adjust na tong Zamboanga team sa kanilang fast break passes. And I think they have to adjust once again with those.
This has always been a very interesting lineup for Imus. These are very versatile players on the court.
And very athletic. Ito nga si Garrix Porrito, ang ating slam dunk champion. Alam naman natin what he can do with that basketball. But everyone else also, yeah, like what you said, they're all versatile.
Puerto really made a name for himself, no? Nung All-Star game natin, or All-Star Day.
And it looks like he's been doing that. Alam mo yun, talagang nasa, ano niya, talagang expertise ng slam dunk.
That's his 4th slam dunk title in his basketball career. 3 coming from Sisapi. As Bautista misses, there's a foul inside on the battle for the board. Si Chris Dumapig ang matatawagan, who is actually one of the best offensive rebounders in the MPBL. It's funny because he's not in the top 10 in terms of overall rebounding, but he's always in the top 10 in offensive rebounding. And in one of the games, Coach Louis Gonzalez mentioned that the reason why that is happening is because the way Dumapig plays offense, he always seals inside. Sa pag-seal niya pa lang, it's already creating his position to box out. Would you agree?
Yeah, and then he's always in the right spot for that ball. Minsan yung bola talagang nahuhulog na lang sa'yo pag nasa tamang position ka. And I'm not surprised why he gets that.
Let's go back to Binibining, Sidney Crespo.
For Zamboanga, this is not just their last regular game. They are here to make a statement. They acknowledge the possibility that this could be the same playoff matchup. So, their battle cry today, and in Coach Vic's own words, iparamdam natin sa kanila ang lakas ng Zamboanga. And from that statement, we can assume that they are not really taking this game lightly. Sabi nga ni Coach Vic, malalim ang bench natin at marami tayo dito, kaya huwag niyong tipirin ng energy niyo because anybody can play. How often do you hear this kind of statement, Mix and Garen?
Well, we have talked about a lot of deep teams in the season, but to your point, Sid, ibang level yung pagkalalim nitong Zamboanga Family's brand Sardines. That's why even with the losses of some players, Den Zelda we mentioned a while ago, ang lakas pa rin talaga nila paper-wise, no? Wala nga rin si Irvin Palencia in today's ball game.
I think also more than anything, just the names on the paper, I think it's also sa style of play ng Zamboanga na pwede talaga sila mag-rotate and use all of their players if possible. Kasi nga, they all share that basketball, they run on defense. So kaya naman nagagamit talaga ni Coach Vic ang kanyang buong lineup.
And obviously, that Zamboanga brand of basketball that Sydney was talking about, they're gonna have to establish that even more as they enter the playoffs, where they're gonna be facing tougher and tougher teams. Bautista, pushed his defender for a while there. Comia will miss at the corner. There's the offensive rebounding of Dumapig. Just couldn't score.
If you can see that basketball, it fell on his spot. Kasi nga he was in the right position, sealing properly.
Monbert Arong on the other end, staying aggressive.
Monbert Arong very productive in this ball game, staying aggressive offensively. Lalo na wala yung Marcelino to win, so he's trying to stay with that aggressiveness in this quarter.
8 points so far para kay Monbert Arong. You think this is extra motivation for Imus as we bring you this epic move of the game in partnership with OKBet Own the Win? Monbert Arong, umupo pa sa ere. Nagkape, panandalian. scores for 2. You think it is added motivation because this is actually a potential first round matchup.
That's right, and they know that they might be the potential number 8 seed matching up against the number 1. So, like what Coach Vic said, sabi niya pwedeng maging statement game to. But for Imus, syempre, they want to make a statement as well na hindi lang sila basta-basta. And regardless if they're number 8, they have something to show against this top team.
It's ironic because if they do actually win this game and Batangas will win on Thursday, and Imus will also win on Thursday, it will be Imus versus Batangas. So, baliwala din po yung ating first round matchup na sinasabi. Still very much possible here. A lot of scenarios as Marcelino will miss from 3. That's JC Marcelino. 20-18 our score. Jed Ong, the older of the Ong brothers. They go to Rene Pacquiao. Pacquiao had 21 points and 12 rebounds in their previous outing. Turnover right there. The other end we go. Mosqueda, Marcelino for 2.
Well, that was a good pass. Nakita mo yung head fake, freeing up JC Marcelino for that open lane.
Would you say that Zamboanga will go as far as JC Marcelino takes them?
Well, for sure, kita natin, he can really lead this team. But like what we said earlier, medyo contradicting. It's a team basketball para dito sa white shirts. But ang laki talagang impact
right,
na nagagawa nito ni JC Marcelino para sa Zamboanga. And yun nga, for me, mabubuhat talaga niya itong white shirts.
Adi Santos, who's about to check in right now, he told us as Chito Jaime makes this 3-point shot, Santos mentioned to me that he talked to JC Marcelino when JC entered this team. At sinabihan niya talaga sa JC, we need a closer. And you have to be that guy.
That's right.
Now we take a look at this 3-point shot brought to you by Xtreme, one-stop shop appliances. Well, we all know that guy can shoot it.
Chito Jaime, the veteran of this team, of course. Yung release pa lang, the follow-through. It's a perfect 3-point shot.
That guy already has finals experience here in the MPBL, the inaugural season when he played for Muntinlup. Zamboanga with the lead now, 23-22. Back inside the Bren Guiao Convention Center, all the way from San Fernando, Pampanga, Mix Gomez, Garen Elorde, and Sydney Crespo at your service for today. First game at hand for your MPBL Tuesday between Zamboanga and Imus. 2 3-point shots converted for each of our teams. And later, it's going to be Marikina versus Rizal in the second game. Valenzuela challenging Pampanga in our main game, live on 1PH at 9 p.m. Garcia with a spin. No good. Rebound Comia. Ito ngayon si Chino Mosqueda. Back to Jeff. Screen from Jason Grimaldo. He gets the ball. Grimaldo, it's too strong. The other end we go. Jed Ong pushing it. They go to Galicia. Baseline drive. Bounce pass. It ends up with Pacquiao, who had to go up and under.
I was actually surprised. He could have gone up, straight up. Itong si Rene Pacquiao, but decided to do otherwise. Buti na lang he was called for that foul.
You know, that's actually been a trend for Rene Pacquiao in the past couple of games. For some reason, he has been more stylish with his moves, as this free throw is brought to you by Xtreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Marami siyang up and under, Garen, in their previous outing, which was new, of course, here in the MPBL, but we'll gladly take it if he can give us more highlights.
Well, yeah, like what you said, some other players talaga, pag na-try nila yung certain move at nagustuhan nila, hindi mo na mawawala yun sa kanila. If they enjoy it, they'll do it.
23-22. Under 4.5 here in the second frame. JC against a taller defender, AJ Coronel. They force the miss. Imus trying to get the lead back. Jed Ong. Oh, good sidestep and the left-handed layup. 24-23. The other end, Jeff Comia exploding and missing. Bawi naman ang Imus Bandera. Garcia will slow things down and then he decides to attack. Foul against Chino Mosqueda. Now, Sid reported about sense of urgency in this game. You mentioned it's coming from both teams. 24-23, under 4 minutes here in the second frame. If you're an Imus fan, you have to be very happy at this point.
That's right. Imus has been very aggressive offensively. They're not faced by the Zamboanga team. At kita mo naman, laban lang sila kung laban.
Garcia makes the first one, 24 all now. Second try for the sharp shooter. Too strong. Mosqueda will bring it down. Chino has to play the point guard position here. Mention nga natin, walang Irvin Palencia, wala ring Reden Celda para sa Zamboanga. JC finding himself wide open. And he gets fouled by Jed Ong. So it's 3 free throws for JC Marcelino.
Oh, that's a sorry foul para dito kay Jed Ong. Fouling a 3-point shooter kay JC Marcelino.
Troy Ignacio, the homegrown of Zamboanga, will check in for Chino Mosqueda. 3 free throws now for the best free throw shooter of the Zamboanga family's brand Sardines. JC Marcelino, 71% at the line in this season. And he is number 6 in the league in that department behind Enzo Hoson, Mark Yee, Kit Jimenez, James Castro, and J. Mark Gimpayan. And let me just take this time to congratulate our very own Kit Jimenez. There's no Sarangani team playing in this game, but he's worth the mention because if you guys missed it, 33 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, and 11 steals. That was the first quadruple-double here in the MPBL, the history of this league. And according to Tiebreaker Times, the first quadruple-double tallied in a Philippine pro basketball game since 1999.
Grabe.
Wow, that was by Don Belbelano, who had 17, 11, 11, and 10 in Davao's win over Nueva Ecija in the 1999 NBA season. Remember, the format of the NBA was similar to the MPBL before.
Yeah, same format, but a different player making history in Kit Jimenez. Grabe yung rebounds, assists, at steals. Dun pa siya nag-double-double. Grabe, Migs. That was something else.
Balik tayo dito sa ating laro, 26-25. We really just had to give that shout out once again to Kit. Here's Rev Diputado checking back in for Imus. 3 minutes and 24 in the second quarter. JC Marcelino back to playing point guard. Ball tapped away. That's off of JC. Both of them actually thought that it was off of each other. Kaya wala nang umabol sa bola. Either way, it was either Diputado or Marcelino who was going to be upset.
Here, we can see the replay here, Migs. Oh, I think that was off of Diputado's foot.
Referee.
Pero yung angle siguro ng referee saw otherwise. So.
Right. So nonetheless, it's with Imus right now, the basketball. Almost another steal by JC. Galicia is blocked by Jason Grimaldo. That's also what he's known for.
That was good timing and a good jump. Para
sa baba pa
yun,
yun no? Diputado. Driving left, shot clock reading 1 second. No good. Garcia on the hustle. Missing again.
Well, that was good recognition there to throw that basketball. And now they have another chance to score this basket.
Garcia inside. The kick out. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Stolen away by JC Marcelino. JC laying it up and in.
That was good body control by JC Marcelino.
$27 all. Coronel. Garcia. 9 on the shot clock. the spin, baseline drive, and that is a turnover. Take a look at this steal by JC Marcelino. Again, one of the best in the league in this category. That's his third steal of the ball game. Almost lost the basketball.
That's
Still
right.
able to recover.
Galing nung ball control and body control nitong ni JC Marcelino, accepting that contact and finishing that fast break.
Here's Jeff Gomia against AJ Coronel. That's a tough shot. Couldn't get it to go. Takbo sa kabila. Bounce pass. Coronel to Galicia. Layup was too strong. JC, wow, that's a sham guard right there. Then he just dished it off. But a foul was called against Imus.
That was a fancy hard move by JC Marcelino, showing off that sham guard.
Minsan lang tayo makita.
Oo.
Nun eh, no?
In game, ah, in game.
And during the fast break, by the
That's
way.
right.
Let me correct that. That was steal number 4 for JC Marcelino in the previous play. Balik tayo, Jeff Gomia. Working with Jason Grimaldo. 90 seconds to go here before halftime. Here's Marcelino. JC using the pick, mid-range. That's a shot all season long.
That was a good execution there, giving that handoff and that pick and roll to open himself up for that jumper. Itong si JC Marcelino.
Christian Garcia staying aggressive. That's another turnover. Steal number 5 for JC Marcelino. Well, this is what he does for Zamboanga. JC Marcelino just, changing from the first gear to the 5th gear in a matter of seconds. A mid-range shot, a couple of steals to his name, a couple of layups as well.
That's right. He was really staying aggressive defensively. Kita natin yung mga turnovers ng Zamboanga, pero binawi nga niya sa kanyang mga steals.
5 steals here in the first half. He's actually on his way to double-digit steals in this game. 31-27. See the beautiful people here in Pampanga. That's actually the wife of Coach Tantan Banal, who will be in action later on as a coach for Rizal against Marikina. A couple more beautiful ladies supporting their very own squads. It's 31-27, under a minute remaining here before halftime. Oh, another steal, this time by Jeff Gomia. Marcelino is the trailer. He goes to JC. Could have been a foul there. It's not called, and now JC's up to 12 points.
That was actually a risky pass by Jeff Gomia in that basket.
See the statistics of JC Marcelino.
JC Marcelino really staying active offensively and defensively. Pero yun nga, may mga risky takes katulad nun. Now he's called for a foul.
That's his first. Quickly admitting to it. I'm not sure if JC was inspired by that Kit Jimenez performance last night.
Parang narinig yung shoutout mo, Mix, kanina eh.
He's on pace to a double-double right now. But in points and steals, if you think about it. Tignan natin if he's gonna rack up those rebounds and assists as well.
And like what you mentioned kanina, they were looking for that closer in the team. And JC Marcelino really proving that he's that captain or that leader that they can rely on sa mga ganitong games.
By the way, since we've talked about Kit Jimenez and JC Marcelino, might I ask you for your MVP favorite? This is unofficial, by the way, folks.
Okay, well,
just got it in order's perspective.
Yeah, this is my perspective. I'll go for JC Marcelino and Kit Jimenez right under that name. Kasi just because of how they affect their team, how they play, how much impact they give to their team and also to the crowd, syempre.
Right.
Yung excitement na nadadala nila, yun yung masasabi mong MVP talaga for the league.
JC Marcelino, 16.8 points per game, He is currently number 3. Oh, sorry. Let me correct that. JC is number 5 in the league in scoring. 5.2 rebounds, 3.9 steals, and 2.2. Make that 3.9 assists and 2.2 steals per ball game para kay JC. Kit Jimenez's numbers. 17.8 points per game, number 3 in the league. Kit is actually one of the best defensive rebounders as well. 6.9, number 6 in the league in that category. And Kit is number 1 in terms of steals. So that's certainly a good matchup, no?
Yeah,
That JC versus Kit. I'm sure a lot of people like Cedric Ablaza would have something to say about that. Maybe even Byron Villarias or a couple more people from Nueva Ecija as JC scores another basket.
Well, JC Marcelino again trying to be aggressive here, as you see here in this replay, driving hard against that defense, getting that contact plus the foul, and now a chance for that three-point play.
Ever since he was brought back in the second quarter, he has been on MVP level.
I mean, sa first quarter, we noticed na medyo nagiging passive-aggressive siya, trying to make his other teammates work. At si JB mas aggressive offensively in that first quarter. Pero etong sa second quarter, parang nasabihan siya ni Coach Vic, we need you now.
Almost another steal there.
So that's what he's doing. Etong si JC Marcelino.
5 seconds remaining here. Monbert Arong with a fake. He fires. No good. And that will conclude our first 2 quarters of play here in Pampanga. JC Marcelino turning on the Jets once more.
That's right. This second quarter was all about Zamboanga and JC Marcelino. Iniba nila yung pace of this ball game. The tone was theirs. They were playing their basketball game at being led by JC Marcelino, who had 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 steals mix.
This guy, again, nothing short of amazing here in the MPBL. He's so used to our interviews with the courtside reporters na umabot sa point na sinusubukan niya ng takasan, no? Yung mga floor directors natin. That's how good he has been all season long. But of course, he's very happy to be interviewed, especially today, by Sydney Crespo.
Yes, I'm with our player at the half, JC Marcelino, with 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 steals. Very aggressive on both ends of the court, JC. Pero kanina bago magsimula ang laro, nakita kita nagme-meditate, di ba? Bago magsimula ang laro. How did you prepare? Anong motivation mo in this ball game?
Ayun, kasi lagi kong ginagawa in every game. Ayun talaga yung game ritual, kaya nagmo-motivate ako nag-vibrating ako bago mag-umpisa yung laro. Tsaka yun, yung motivation ko siguro yung pa-playoffs na kasi, kaya playoffs mode na. Kaya ayun, binibigay ko yung best ko kada ipapasok ako.
Thank you so much, JC, for your time. I know kailangan mo nang tumakbo sa dugout. Maraming salamat sa iyong oras. Mga kaligaw, huwag kayong alis. Magbabalik po ang MPBL.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.
sabi naman ni Raylan, mag-ano naman daw yung company kasi yung ano natin kasi kung wala, during walang game, ano gagawin? Pinabayaran mo. Sabihin mo kahit na 8 oras lang.
8 oras na yan talaga.
Kaya nga, pero
Hindi lang doon daw, hindi pwedeng
hindi naman pwede, di ba?
Hindi yun,
Hindi pwede, kaya nga.
Dapat na 12 oras na yun eh.
Kaya nga ang pinafinalize nga nila, pinafinalize nila, kung yung Zamboanga ay uuwi. Pag uwi ng Zamboanga, papadala ng ibang tao para sa Jensen. Kasi ilang araw yung pagitan ng ano, malayo. Tayo kaya lang naman sa Jensen naman noon. Kasi may pagitan lang ng 2 araw. Tapos may laro, lipat. Ilipat ng lugar. Ewan ko lang pero kung ganun ang gagawin nila, maganda yun para sa tao. Pero sabi daw nga, yung Zamboanga to Jensen 12 hours. Pwede mo pa rin ibiyahe yun, pero ang bigat nun.
Umalis ka ng alas 6. Alas 6 ka na nakapunta.
Oo, pero kailangan alas 6 talaga, alis kayo. Kasi pagka inabot ng
Delikado yun.
Oo, delikado.
Kailangan, madaling araw pa lang, titira na eh. Alas 4 eh.
Hindi, bali mangyayari nga, kailangan yung driver lang ang patutulugin ng after the game. Tapos mga 5 o'clock, pull out na.
Kasi, makakatakot yun pag inabot ka ng ano.
Alas 7 lang ng gabi, puta, madilim na yun.
Hindi mo alam yung mangyayari.
Oo. Tapos puta na, bagay, wala naman tayong sasakyan doon na may logo. Yung logo ng MPBL.
Kaya, hindi, bakit? Hirap kasi. Wala naman kami sa ating Facebook tao.
Kaso nga, ito MPBL, walang budget. Kaya nga inaantay nila, sagot ng Jensen, kung sponsoran nila.
Hindi nila,
Hindi, ewan ko lang ang tingin ko sa Jensen,
pare, mukhang hindi
mukhang may tulog sila eh. Alam ba, parang nahinaan sa katabi.
walang budget yung Jensen talaga. Ayaw naman dito.
Si Pacquiao.
Sa lang galing.
Si Pacquiao kasi yun. May Pacquiao kasi. Lugar ng Pacquiao. Nakakagagaan siya. Ang maganda ba? Siya. Bata ka ba? May edad na. Bukod na ino?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na MPBL.
Back here in San Fernando, Pampanga. First game at hand for your MPBL Tuesday. Second to the last regular season game day na po tayo before we proceed to the playoffs on October 15. The score is 36-29. Zamboanga up by 7 versus Imus. This was actually a tied ball game at the end of 1. It was 23-22 halfway through the second. But in that moment, Coach Vicky Casiano just said, let me put in JC Marcelino and let me just hayaan natin siyang kumuha ng steals at kumuha ng mga puntos dito to build this 7-point lead for Zamboanga.
Well, that's right. In the second quarter, medyo nag-iba na nga ang ihip ng hangin para dito sa Zamboanga. At kita natin, bumalik na ang kanilang pace and they were playing their game of basketball na it was led by JC Marcelino leading in steals. At saka yung mga fast break points, kita natin, takbo na ng takbo at yung White Shirts to get this lead laban Imus.
One can only wonder how many points has JC Marcelino scored off of layups in this season at yung porsyento ng mga puntos niya, ilan kaya doon yung galing sa mga layups? Tignan nyo naman yung mga highlights niya. All of those are layups if you think about it. You're not going to see it in the leading scorers later on. So we mentioned the other statistics of JC Marcelino. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 steals. Got in our numbers.
Well, here we see that mas mataas ang field goal percentage ng Zamboanga with 50% laban sa 35% ng Imus Bandera. And that's caused by the defensive stops by JC Marcelino and the white shirts laban itong Imus. And kita natin yung steals, 9 big ones para dito sa Zamboanga laban sa 5 ng Imus Bandera. But they were also playing strong nung first quarter, pero yun nga, nag-iba ang lahat nung pagdating ng second quarter nung si JC Marcelino na ang naging point guard para dito sa Zamboanga.
JC leads the way with 15, Domapig with 5, Bautista with 4, Jaime with 3. The other end, the duo, Christian Garcia and Monbert Arang, have been very effective today for Imus. A total of 19 points between them. Diputado and Coronel following with 3 and 2 respectively. So we're about to begin our second half here inside the Guiao Convention Center. This is Zamboanga versus Imus. Later on, Marikina versus Rizal. And then in the main game, Pampanga versus Valenzuela. This is actually the only game today with playoff implications dahil set na po ang ating mga koponan in the North Division. Seeds 1 through 8, nakaset na po yun. Let's just give it a run here. Nueva Ecija will battle Marikina in the first round, 1 versus 8. Pasig versus QC, 2 versus 7. Pampanga versus, or make that San Juan versus Valenzuela, 3 versus 6. Pampanga versus Bataan, 4 versus 5. As for the South, sigurado na po ang Sarangani at number 3, Jensen at 4, Bacolod at 5, Rizal at 6, and Bacoor at 7. Again, if Zamboanga wins today, they will secure that number 1 spot in the South Division. If they lose, and if Batangas wins on Thursday, then Zamboanga will fall down to number 2. As for Imus, this is no betting in terms of seedings, but their Thursday matchup versus Muntinlup will be that do-or-die matchup. One team will advance to the playoffs, one team will be sent home early for our 2022 MPBL season.
So dito nga sa game na to, I think it's still a very crucial game na both teams would want to get that win coming into the playoffs and coming into Thursday's game. So hindi bibitaw itong parehas na koponan, Migs.
JV Marcelino making a jump shot. That's 4 points for him. You mentioned he was very aggressive at the start of this game, but he wasn't inserted back in the second quarter. Hindi niya nasabayan itong kanyang kambal na si JC. 4 on the shot clock. Diputado will miss. Rebound Mahari.
Well, in that defense, nag-iba yung defense ng Zamboanga. They switched to a zone defense, to a 2-3. So, kanina, before the half ended, the first half ended, they were actually doing a full court press, but now they're doing a zone defense. So, they're switching it up. And alam naman natin si Coach Vic, he's very well known with his defensive schemes and paiba-iba yan para hindi ma-check ng kalaban, syempre.
Let's see if that will be very effective here in this third quarter. This is actually the biggest lead in the ball game for Zamboanga, 9 points. It was 7 in the first half. JV Marcelino. Screen mula kay J. Moiguilo, 7 on the shot clock. This time it's short for JV. And here's AJ Coronel. In and out cross. Coronel dashing through the defense and scoring off the glass.
That was actually a tough move. Sa una pa lang sa defense ni JV, he did that in and out move, escaping from him. Pero pag drive niya, may isa pang sumalubong, but he was able to make that tough shot.
The other end, bawi agad si JC Marcelino as we bring you this epic move of the game in partnership with OKBet on the win. Right to left, left to right. That's a beauty from AJ Coronel.
That's right. Dito parang cones lang yung ginawa niya sa depensa. He was doing everything perfectly.
JC Marcelino missing on the first free throw. Mentioned he was the leading scorer in the first half. Now he's up to 16 points. Monbert Arong checking back in. Monbert had 8 big ones in the first half for Imus.
And now we see the full court press again para dito sa white shirts. Let's see if they can make a stop here.
Do you think that 2-3 zone is designed or is implemented for them to be able to rest after that full court press?
Well, that could be also the case, but they're also challenging the shooters of Imus apparently wala pa masyadong naging successful shots dito sa outside line para dito sa Imus Bandera. So they switched back to that zone para nga ma-challenge itong Imus Bandera.
Imus was 25% from 3 in the first half, 2 out of 8. Alley-oop, Egilos on the catch, bringing it down and scoring 2 points.
Must I say, Migs, galing sa sahig si JC. He got that rebound on the floor and nahanap niya agad yung teammate niya for that alley-oop pass.
We actually have to mention, or we did mention the stat line of JC Marcelino at halftime. That being said, kailangan natin bantayan ang kanyang mga numero as AJ Coronel makes a 3-point shot. We were just talking about their struggles from downtown.
Oh. And syempre, they're gonna take those shots. If it's open, that's what you should do. Take those shots and see if it's gonna go in, syempre.
Oh, JC losing the defender and ends up with JB at the corner. It's too strong. Rebound, Guiao. Forward pass, almost a steal by JC Marcelino, but it ends up with Christian Garcia. Napaganda pa para sa Imus.
Oh, you'd like the timing and the basketball knowledge of JC Marcelino. He doesn't really have to do much. Here, you see the ball being tapped, pero luckily napunta sa kanyang teammate for that 2 points.
Garcia with 13 points now. He was the top scorer for Imus in the first half. 13 and 5, the numbers for Christian. It's back-to-back turnovers here off of inbounds at the baseline. Napapatapak yung mga players natin. (51-36). Marcelino twins still working with John Mahari, Jaymo Egilos, and Ralph Tancinco. JC given space. That's a lot of space. Just couldn't convert.
That was a lot of space indeed. Swerte na lang ang Imus at hindi na-convert ni JC. But there he is again, staying aggressive with that basketball. Makikita mo, when he doesn't make a shot, babawi agad on defense.
Right. Let's turn you over to Cindy Crespo.
Imus had a great start in this game, but they need to sustain their pace kung gusto nilang makalagpas sa Zamboanga. And as Coach Ren emphasized also to his team, Zamboanga is a very organized squad, so they need to have patience, and that could make a difference, like looking for their next best shot and controlling their rebounding in fast breaks. Overall, Coach Ren wants his team to start the better habits that they could bring to Munti and hopefully to the playoffs. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
Alright folks, ang kailangan nyo lang pong isipin dyan at this point ay yung right side, yung number 1, number 8, and number 2. Yan lang po ang pwede mag-iba dyan. So it's Batangas or Zamboanga at number 1, and then Imus or Muntinlup at number 8. The rest of the teams, they're already settled in their own positions. Good luck to everyone. The playoffs will begin on October 15, this Saturday, in the Nueva Ecija Coliseum, all the way from Palayan City, where the Rice Vanguards are, of course, undefeated. They are also making history. They have the longest winning streak in Philippine professional basketball, 21 games. Tancinco, kick out. JC will fire. That's short. Rebound Garcia. Sidney mentioned Imus would want to capitalize on the fast break. They would want to rebound very well in this quarter. What a pass. A baseball pass by Jaymo Egilos onto JB Marcelino.
Yeah, like what you said, a baseball pass. But yeah, acknowledging the teammate na meron siyang libreng kakampi. Harap sa harap. And no one was there for that open shot nitong ni JB Marcelino.
Fast break points, 16 and 17 po yun ng Zamboanga in this game. So foul against JV Marcelino. Take a look at this block by Egilos. Recovery for Jaymo, and then he finds JV all the way onto the other end. And a touchdown para kay JV. (43-38) our score, almost halfway done in the third quarter. First free throw is good para kay Jacob Galicia. Galicia had 14 points and 8 rebounds in their previous outing. He is averaging 7.6 points per game, 4.5 rebounds as well. And madalas silang magkasama ni AJ Coronel on the floor. Two very versatile forwards for Imus. Zamboanga's lead has been cut down to 3 points. JC. Wow, what a move. Just couldn't convert. Ball off of the face of Jacob Galicia. And the recovery by Monbert Arong.
Yeah, but JC Marcelino wanted that shot to go in. That was a very tough move that he did, getting away from his initial opponent. Pero yun nga, Rene Pacquiao was there to challenge him for that tough shot.
Mahari will sit down. Pasok dito si Japs Bautista. Baseline inbound for Imus. Monbert Arong looking for a teammate. They go to Christian Garcia. This might just be Christian Garcia's best game of the season so far. 6 on the shot clock. Arong. Oh, someone has to fire. Almost a steal. Good effort though from Jeff Comia. They force a turnover.
So that was a good defense showed by the white shirts in that possession. Kita naman, everyone was there in front of the Imus players. So nahirapan sila gumawa ng play dun sa possession na yun.
Balik tayo sa Zamboanga. JC working with Adi Santos, Jeff Comia, Jamoy Gilos, and Japs Bautista. Balabas, Jeff Comia. Now they find Bautista. Screen. Japs. Mid-range. Short. Rebound. Arong. See the effort from the guards in rebounding.
That's right. Everyone really helping out para dito sa Imus.
How about Monbert Arong going coast to coast for that layup?
Well, he's been very aggressive like what we mentioned earlier in this game. And now he knows that he has to step up. And in this replay, we see that strong drive plus the contact para dito kay Monbert Arong.
You have to love the athleticism in this guy, Monbert Arong. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Just missed that free throw, but the lead has been cut down to 1 point. Handoff. Japs onto Adi Santos. Balik kay JC. Marcelino on the drive. Another layup for him.
We were talking about organized basketball para dito sa Zamboanga. And kita naman dun sa play na yun, ang ganda ng ikot ng bola, freeing up JC Marcelino for that open lane.
It's really crazy how many layups he gets to score no, in a game. Looking ahead, JC, it's tapped away by AJ Coronel.
Dapat merong statistic, no? Layups per game.
Oo nga.
JC would be the leader of that stat.
There's that drive. Kita niya agad. Grabe yung basa sa depensa nito ni JC Marcelino.
MVP caliber talaga, Migs. For me, he's really up there.
Crossover, down the middle, and another layup.
And there you go. He's really orchestrating the offense para dito sa Zamboanga and for himself. Talagang alam niya paano to create a point for him.
And then he forces a turnover.
That's right.
Marcelino on the foot race. He is fouled. And JC will proceed to the line.
He actually took off very far from the basketball, but alam niyang may contact siyang makukuha. And now he's there in the free throw line.
He's just doing everything for Zamboanga.
Yeah, he made that steal happen. Ito nga, nakita na yung tao. Tumalon na agad. Basang-basa niya yung momentum ng kalaban. Ang galing. Ang galing talaga.
Just missed on the free throw. Ito si JC Marcelino. Again, we are gonna need to update you with his numbers. Ito si JC. This free throw is brought to you by Xtreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists so far for JC Marcelino. And he also has 5 steals to his name. What a pass by Galicia. Off angle though. 5 on the shot clock. Garcia onto Pacquiao, who has been neutralized in this game. That's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation against Imus. Mentioned Pacquiao, he hasn't been scoring that much. Only 1 point. Rene Pacquiao averaging 9.2 per game in this season, coming off of a 21-point performance against Bacoor. Balik tayo, JC. Oh, good defense by Jet Ong. But the steal could not be completed. This is going to be a jump ball. Ball possession pointing Imus' way.
Well, it's always good to see your guards or your players fighting for that basketball, diving for that basketball. Para pakita talaga na we want to win. And that's what you get. Now you get the possession back to you.
JC will now get a breather. Pasok dito si Chino Mosqueda. 47-42. Imus winning this quarter by 2 points so far. 2 minutes and 40 remaining in the third. There's a delay here. Imus now has Christian Garcia, Jed Ong, AJ Coronel, Jacob Galicia, and Rene Pacquiao on the floor. As for Zamboanga, they have Adi Santos, Chino Mosqueda, Japs Bautista, Jeff Comia, and Chris Dumapig. Jed Ong. See that defense from Pampanga. Full court, making it a little bit harder for Imus.
Well,
Garcia won't be able to score.
They switched it up again from that full court press to a man-to-man defense. Pero nag-help out nga sila with that ball handler. So they're really switching everything up para dito sa Zamboanga, and they're making it hard para dito sa Imus to actually bring up and execute a play.
Oh, almost a steal. It is completed by AJ Coronel. 2 guys to beat. Coronel will miss. Rebound Galicia. Oh, that's short. One more try. Coronel finally backs it in.
Oh, that was a tough shot by AJ Coronel. In that first attempt, ang dami nang ang contact na nangyari, but the refs weren't calling it for him.
Almost got another steal right there. Tapped it away. Ball possession will remain with Zamboanga. Are you impressed so far by this level of play of Imus?
Yes, I always enjoy watching a basketball game na laging may defensive stops. It makes it a lot interesting and exciting. And Imus talaga, they're really fighting against dito sa Zamboanga, and they're not being faced by anything. And they're always trying to cut the lead down. But yeah, Jeff Comia, another hard shot, a reverse layup para sa kanya.
And that's his offhand. Galicia. Up top, they swing it over. Garcia. No handoff. Baseline cut. No good. That was actually a backdoor cut para kay AJ Coronel. Oh, that's a risky play. Jedong falling down on Chino Mosqueda, who looks to be in pain right now. Actually, hindi naman ganun kabilis yung pagbagsak. But obviously, it's still the weight of a whole person
That's
on
right.
you.
I think this move is really risky always. That pump fake, alam mong yung momentum ng opponent mo, babaksak talaga sa'yo. So it's really unfortunate, pero hindi naman yun sadya, but I'm sure it's gonna hurt.
Well, Mosqueda is up right now, so that's good.
Well, that's a good sign. We never want to see players getting hurt, lalo na nga paparating na ang playoffs. And in general, we don't want to see anyone get injured.
Mosqueda was getting stretched out by his teammates. Yung stretching na niyayakap ka.
Oo.
At inaangat ka, no? Yung katawan mo. Looks to be okay kasi Chino, batang-bata pa naman yan. 49-44. Foul here against Galicia. (49-44) again is the score. Bautista at the line. 1 minute and 18 in the third. First one is a miss. There's Coach Vicky Casiano, passionate as always. Same goes para kay Coach Ren Cabrera. Again, the sense of urgency is in this game for both of our teams. Might be non-betting for Imus, but they're gonna want to build that confidence up high. Would you argue that it could be a momentum builder for that game versus Imus as well?
That's right. And eto nga, we see them playing very well against a very tough team. And they're doing a lot of things right. Pero unfortunately, ang dami rin nilang naging turnovers and useless fouls like that. So they have to work on that and close out this game pretty well.
That looked a little bit too easy for Japs Bautista. Take a look at it. Nasa likod na talaga, no? Si Garrick Spreto, who just couldn't chase Bautista in that basketball. So there have been a lot of running, Gary, in this game, but a lot of fouls as well.
That's right. And yun nga, kasi dahil nagiging aggressive talaga both teams. Both teams trying to create a lot of stops. And kaya naman kita natin, dun sa aggressiveness nila, ang dami rin nagiging foul for both teams.
53-44, Jedong. Escaping the defense, pass inside, Pacquiao with a sorry miss. And then Pacquiao just couldn't build his momentum here. And as I say that, he finally scores.
Well, Jedong found him once again, itong si Rene Pacquiao, and he wasn't giving up on that possession.
That's the first basket, first field goal of Pacquiao in this game. The other end, bawi naman si Chris Dumapig.
Yun lang yung mahirap dito sa Zamboanga talaga. You can't really slow down, lalo na pagdating sa defense. You have to get back on defense kasi nga ang bilis ng pace nila. And they're always gonna be looking to shoot that basketball, so you always have to be ready.
4-second differential here. Galicia. Kick out, the steal. Comia on the other end. He goes to Chino Mosqueda for 2. 4 seconds remaining. AJ Coronel will have to fire this one up. So in this quarter, we saw Imus having a great start. They trimmed the lead. It's a single possession ball game just a while ago. But Zamboanga bouncing back here. They increased the lead to the biggest of the ball game at 11.
That's right. Well, Imus, like what you mentioned, ganda nga nung start nila dito sa second half. And they were actually making a lot of shots for them. But Zamboanga slowly again creating a lot of stops, a lot of fast break points, sharing that basketball pretty well. Kaya naman lumaki na ang kalamangan to 11 points.
57-46 our tally after 3. Again, Zamboanga looking to secure that #1 spot in the South Division with a victory today. As for Imus, they would want to build their momentum approaching that matchup versus Muntinlup, do or die on Thursday. 57-46 after 3. Nagbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Today we come to you live from the Bren Guiao Convention Center all the way from San Fernando, Pampanga. Later on, the Giant Lanterns will be defending their home court for the last time, at least for the regular season of 2022 against Valenzuela City. Before that, it will be the Rizal Golden Coolers squaring off against the Marikina Shoe Masters. Right now, it's Zamboanga versus Imus, 57-46 our tally. Zamboanga having stronger second and third quarters.
Here we see the breakdown for the scoring sa tatlong quarters nga. And kita natin, Zamboanga winning all 3 quarters. Well, first quarter, we saw that they were tied sa ball game na to. Pero Zamboanga doing a lot more para nga makuha ang lead sa bawat quarter.
They're actually trailing at the start of this game. So they had the momentum by the end of 1. Comia onto Dumapig. Inside, he couldn't score, but that's 2 free throws for him.
That was a tough pass by Jeff Comia, finding his big man down under the basket. Fortunately, nakuha ang foul and a chance to make 2 points.
Chris Dumapig in the first half had 5 points, 5 rebounds. He was on his way to win Player of the Half honors, but sorry for him. JC Marcelino just came alive. Si JC, mention natin na ipagbiroan pa kanina. Pwede bang yung kambal ko naman yung interviewin ninyo?
Baka daw hindi mapansin eh.
Those two players are just very proud of each other. They're very proud of Chris Dumapig as well for making these free throws. 58-48. Here's Jacob Galicia. He needs a teammate. They go to Puerto. Garrix on the drive. Pass inside. Almost tapped away. Battle for the loose ball. And that is going to be a jump ball. Someone has to let go. Possession arrow pointing Imus's way.
Well, it's been a struggle para sa Imus nga to find someone open dahil sa magandang depensa na pinapakita ng Zamboanga.
Referee blowing his whistle here. Could that be?
I think they want to add more time to the clock, pero hindi na yata ma-approve.
1 second on the shot clock. Baseline inbound. Jedong. They go to Mangalino, who will fire. That is way short. No more continuation here. It has to be an inbound for Zamboanga.
Like what we mentioned, Zamboanga playing very aggressive on defense. Ang napakaganda nga ng show-out defense nila. And kaya naman hirap na hirap makahanap ng butas itong Imus.
58-48. Mosqueda onto Dumapig against Mangalino. Chris Dumapig spin. Fade is no good. Adi Santos is there. That's a tough rebound. It ends up with a three-point shot from Japs Bautista.
First of all, that was a hard rebound against 3 blue shirts under that basket, but he was still able to get that rebound and a chance for that three-point shot.
Balik tayo sa Imus. Here's Mangalino. Straight away. This time he puts it in.
Nagulat si Chris Dumapig. Pumasok yung tira, but he was giving that shot anyway, so.
Comia. Against 2 players. They go to Chino Mosqueda. Not sure if he tried to go behind the back. He lost it. And then there's a foul against Zamboanga. After that, steal by Jedong. Some pressure defense here being implemented by Jedong, but just not enough to the whole of Imus' team in that play. Japs Bautista, specialty of the house for him. And on the other end, pumawi naman si Romel Mangalino, who actually thought it was short again.
Yeah, ang taas kasi nung arc ng tira niya eh, but it was nothing but net.
At papasok pa ulit si JC Marcelino for Zamboanga. They're up by 11. Garrix Puerto onto the cutter. Coronel with a spin. Good escape for him.
Well, that was a good decision by him. Nakita niya a smaller defender was on him and he made that spin move and that go hard basket move para sa kanya.
Here's Japs Bautista. Driving left. Crossover. Down the middle. Layup is good.
Japs Bautista taking over in this quarter. He's been very aggressive shooting outside, faking that handoff for that layup for himself.
3 minutes gone by in the 4th frame. Garcia losing his defender, and he scores for 2.
Well, that was a close call, a close non-call. It could have been called for a charge. May push over ng konti na extend yung forearm. But fortunately for him, he was able to get away and make that jump shot.
The other end, there's a charge here against Chris Dumapig. Imus is really fighting hard in this game. Still very much at reach for them.
That's right. This is just a 9-point ball game, and that's why they're not letting go. Here we see that replay dun sa forearm nga. May push. May konting tulak. Ay, medyo natamaan nga sa chin. Sa forearm niya, kaya natawagan ng charge.
Jedong. They go to Monbert Arong. At the post. The spin. Kick out. Mangalino again. I think he just really tries to go for his own board, no? Automatic na sa kanya yun.
Yeah, and some other players do that talaga. They follow their shots after they shoot. Hindi naman sa wala silang confidence sa tira nila. It's just a habit of theirs, I guess.
It's actually a good thing. A lot of coaches like that.
Yes, yes.
But you have to finish your shot first.
Of course.
Kailangan kumpleto muna yung tira mo as we complete our broadcast team with Sydney Crespo once again.
Very true sa pinakita ni JC Marcelino in the first half. Sabi ni Coach Vic Icasiano, kailangan ng kumpiyansa mula sa umpisa. They're a reminder to each other. They have been waiting for the playoffs for so long and they want that 10-game winning streak next week. Their priority is to give 100% attention to anyone on the floor, knowing that any player can be dangerous still while recognizing the strength and help needed on their side. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sydney. Yes, that sense of urgency is there for Zamboanga. Great for you to mention the possible 10-game winning streak if they win in this game. They are currently the second hottest team in the MPBL, just behind, of course, the undefeated Nueva Ecija standards.
That's right. And tulad nga sabi ni Sid, yung confidence ng team, and I think that's why other players in this Zamboanga team have been trying to be aggressive offensively dahil nga they're trying to build that confidence for everyone else, hindi lang para dito kay JC Marcelino.
Zamboanga, remember, in the previous seasons of the MPBL, this team hasn't been finishing at the top. The farthest that they've gone is the semifinals of the South Division. And obviously, they're going to want to do better than that as Chris Dumapig scores inside.
And again, another good possession para nga dito sa white shirts, executing that play beautifully, finding their big man down below.
Christian Garcia answering back for Imus. They're still very much alive in this game. 18 points for Garcia. Sorry, miss inside for Marcelino. Chris Dumapig again on the follow.
Chris Dumapig not giving up on that possession. Kita natin, he was against 3 blue shirts, but he was very patient in that move. Kaya naman, nakuha niya. Here we see that 3-point shot in the corner. On the other side, we see that miss by JC, but Chris Dumapig fighting against blue shirts and getting that foul for the possible end one.
Points, 7 rebounds so far for Chris Dumapig. Again, that's what he's known for, just getting those boards, those putbacks.
Another rebound for
there
him.
You see it right on cue.
And silent statistics for him, close to a double-double already, Mix.
Sabi niya, lagi naman kasi si JC na lang yung best player ninyo. Baka pwedeng ako naman. Oh, steal by Bautista. Could not be completed. Players diving for the ball, but it ended up with Monbert Aro who made the 3.
Steady 3-point shot by Monbert Aro.
69-60. Under 5 minutes in this game. Monbert Aro, 12-6-3 ang kanyang mga numero. One-hander is short. JV Marcelino, wala pa rin. They've been getting those boards. Another chance here. There's JC at the corner, inside. Good tap by Pacquiao, and there's a foul.
Well, you have to appreciate the patience sa offense itong Zamboanga. They're really trying to move that basketball and trying to find the best guy to make that shot. Pero yun nga, they end up in a turnover.
69-60 here. 4 minutes and 19 remaining in this game. Garcia against Adi Santos. Strong drive. Garcia, short. Rebound Dumapig. That's rebound number 9 for him. JC hanging in the air. Wow, what a layup.
Grabe yung layup na yun.
By the way, we're not laughing because it's laughable. We're laughing because he's just so good.
It was just amazing. Medyo, yeah, yung tawa na yun, it was just unreal. That's why.
Adi Santos on the other end, catching that basketball off from that pass of JV Marcelino, and the lead has been extended to 13.
Because of those stops again, because of the running of the white shirts, lumaki na naman ang kanilang kalamangan. Here we see that layup by JC Marcelino. And here, making another stop, si JV Marcelino naman ang nagpakita at pinasa kay Adi Santos for that easy layup.
3 minutes and 42 remaining. Zamboanga looking good. They're moments away from securing that #1 spot in the South Division. Nagbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Mix Gomez at your service alongside Karen Elorde and Sidney Crespo. Right now, it is Zamboanga versus Imus. Later, Marikina versus Rizal. And then in the main game, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns will look to snap their 2-game losing streak against Valenzuela. Fast break story natin, 26-12 in favor of Zamboanga, which has been their identity all season long. There's a holding foul there against Jason Grimaldo. Again, as mentioned by Sidney Crespo, this team is riding on a big-time winning streak. 9 straight wins so far for Zamboanga. They want to continue building their confidence as they approach the playoffs. Kick out, Monbert Arong on the catch. Turnover again. That has been a story in this game. Marcelino with his 1 millionth layup in this season.
Oh, and you see the white shirts really continuing and trying to close out this ball game sa kanilang defense.
24 points for JC Marcelino. I guess we don't have to ask Garen Elorde who his best player would be if ever this continues. As JB Marcelino misses from 3. Rebound, Galicia. They go to Monbert Arong. Could have passed it.
I was actually expecting him to pass that basketball, but I guess he wanted to challenge the defense in that possession. Fortunately for them, sa kanila pa rin ang bola nito.
There's that steal. Bautista finding JC Marcelino. Again, using that dominant left hand for the MVP candidate. Diputado is blocked by Grimaldo. Forward pass, Jason on the catch.
Wow.
Ooh, he runs out of space.
That was a risky pass. There were 2 blue shirts already on the other side of the basketball court.
75-60, Coach Vicky Casiano. Maybe relaxing a little bit here because his team is slowly but surely pulling away. Another steal by JC Marcelino.
Yeah, but regardless of the lead, he still wants to get that basketball.
My goodness. See how high he leaps for those steals?
And yung timing talaga ni JC, it's just perfect.
24 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists.
Oh, another one.
Another steal?
Yes.
Bautista. There's the follow by JB Marcelino. This is just the exclamation point here for the Zamboanga family's brand Sardines. There's Josh Bautista running the floor. Good contest though by Imus, but not enough help para kay Jacob Galicia. Pasok dito si Jomari Lacas dos Santos alongside Choi Ignacio and Decoy Lopez. Chito Jaime as well. As this free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. How about JV Marcelino getting that basketball again? Unfortunately, it's a turnover for Zamboanga and the layup for Christian Garcia.
Well, you'd like to see, you'd like to appreciate and recognize the efforts being shown by JV Marcelino, trying to match the energy of his twin brother, of course.
79-62, over 90 seconds remaining in this game. Safe to say, Zamboanga will now secure themselves as the #1 seeded team in the South Division. And they will await the winner between Imus and Muntinlup on Thursday. That's going to be a showdown to watch out for. Which of those 2 teams will be able to proceed to the playoffs? By the way, we would like to give a shout out to JB, or make that JC Marcelino. His stat line today, 24 points, 10 out of 19 shooting. That's over 50%, by the way. 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 7 steals.
Close to a triple-double, mid, right? Not bad.
Somewhere out there, Kit Jimenez is smiling as his record is
still up there.
Oo, siya lang, nag-iisa ang may quadruple double sa MPBL.
Oh. I wonder when the next person will break that record.
Well,
kung yung huli was 1999, how long ago was that?
It was
23 years ago?
23 years ago. It was in the previous century, if you think about it.
Yeah, oo nga, no?
Diba? JC Marcelino tried to break it in one day, but to no avail.
That would have been something else. One day lang, no? Yeah,
Anticlimactic.
Oo, grabe.
79-65, our score. Silvares checking in for the first time for Imus. Again, they're gonna have to rest their bodies, prepare their minds for a do-or-die matchup on Thursday against Muntinlup. Chito Jaime will miss. Rebound Silvares. And as for Zamboanga, by the way, we will fly to their very own Coliseum and play there on Monday to start the South Division playoffs. Again, they wait the winner between Imus and Muntinlup. Before that, we will be in Nueva Ecija on Saturday to begin the playoffs overall. Nueva Ecija will defend their home court against Marikina. Before that, it will be Pampanga versus Bataan. Joy Ignacio, the homegrown of Zamboanga, coming alive and making a three.
Well, it's gonna be good for them. Yun nga, they're getting this momentum. They're going home with a 10-game winning streak, Mig, so that's gonna be good for them.
And how about this? A timeout with 14 seconds to go. Coach Ren Cabrera will still be calling out a single play here for Imus.
Well, surprising, but I guess he wants to close out this ball game on a good note at least, and he's gonna draw up something and try to convert to end this ball game para sa kanila.
Up next, we have the Marikina Shoe Masters going up against the Rizal Golden Coolers. That's actually a very important game, especially for Rizal, because they're trying to snap their 5-game losing streak here in the MPBL. These beautiful ladies. Nakakatuwa din yung mga change of expressions ng faces nila when they see themselves in our LEDs. The Marikina Shoe Masters, on the other end, they have finally qualified in the MPBL playoffs for the first time in their team's history in this league. So, congratulations to Coach Elvis Tolentino and the rest of Marikina. And congratulations as well to Coach Vicky Casiano, JC Marcelino, and the rest of Zamboanga, who now have officially secured that #1 seed in the South Division. And again, they will await the winner between Muntinlup and Imus for their foes in the first round of the MPBL South Division playoffs, which will begin in Zamboanga this coming Monday. Now, this player of the game is brought to you by OKBet, the official partner of the MPBL. With OKBet, own the win. We did not even need to ask Garen Elorde about this selection.
Yeah, JC Marcelino started really not too good para sa kanila. He tried to make his other teammates create for them, but then when his name was called up, alam naman natin, he's gonna show up and create and lead para dito sa Zamboanga.
JC Marcelino had a little bit of a scare here in terms of maybe achieving a quadruple-double as well, but of course, not quite for him. He'll still take this win, 82-67 the final score, and of course, the confidence building here for Zamboanga as they approach the playoffs. This is also the 10th straight victory of the Zamboanga family's brand Sardines, the second longest here in the MPBL. And now we proceed to Sidney Crespo for this 1,000th interview of JC Marcelino in this season. Sid, go ahead.
Yes, Mix and Garen, as usual, I'm with our best player of the game, JC Marcelino, with 24 points in this game. But JC, 18-3 after the regular season, All-Star MVP and multiple Best Player of the Game awards. Ano ang main takeaway mo in the regular season bago tayo pumunta ng playoffs?
Ayun, kinumpose ko lang yung sarili ko. And yung natutunan ko sa buong season, kinumpose ko yung sarili ko. Stay focused lang lagi kahit anong mangyari sa game namin. Kaya, para kung sakaling pumangit man yung laro ko, makabalik ako pagdating ng last minute.
Composure at focus, but also, JC, next week, ibang challenge na rin ito, di ba? Kanina kinuwento mo how you prepared for this game, pero paano naman ang preparations mo next week for your first playoff game at home in Zamboanga?
Ayun, siguro kailangan na namin maging competitive sa training talaga. Kahit kami magkakampi lang sa training, kailangan namin magseryoso pagdating sa practice namin para pagdating ng playoffs, di kami mawawala.
JC, congratulations sa napaka-successful na eliminations round. Imbitahan mo naman lahat ng mga taga-Zamboanga na panoorin ng inyong playoff game next week.
Pwede ba magpasalamat muna? Ito, nagpapasalamat po kami sa Universal Canning INC at dedicate po namin ang game kay Nuestra Señora la Virgen del Pilar at Happy Fiesta Pilar Zamboangueños. At binabati ko yung mga mahal ko sa buhay, pamilya at kung nasaan man sila. At yung inaanak namin magkambal, yung kambal din, si Kyrie tsaka si Kyrie Bautista sa Olongapo. Tsaka yun, maraming salamat. See you, Zamboanga.
Thank you so much, JC. Mga taga-Zamboanga, makikita nyo na siya next week. Again, that's our best player of the game, brought to you by OKBet, the official partner of the MPBL. With OKBet, own the win. Back to you guys.
Always great to have JC Marcelino on another pub mat here in the MPBL. Congratulations, best player of the game once more si JC, and he really talks seriously about practice. His teammates would even tell us that he's always the first guy to reach the practice courts, get some shots up alongside his twin. Next up here, it will be Marikina versus Rizal. Kaya dyan lamang kayo. On behalf of my partner, Garrett Lorde, courtside reporter, Cindy Crespo. My name is Mix Gomez. At magbabalik ko po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.
Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yung mayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan.